Imagine a game where every location isn't a map but a cage. Every match isn't a round but a ritual. And every character isn't just a model, but a soul abducted by a creature that feeds on fear. This is Dead by Daylight, a project that started as a niche horror title and turned into one of the most profitable asymmetric games on the planet. The developers, Behavior Interactive, built the entire idea on one simple formula. For try to escape, one hunts them down. But beneath that simplicity hides something far deeper. The setting revolves around the entity, an ancient force that abducts people from different eras, and forces them to die over and over in an endless loop of trials. The more fear, pain, hope, and despair it produces, the stronger it becomes. But the key thing here is money. And today, the DBD universe proves it. Moneybag Dead by Daylight earns tens of millions of dollars every year. Moneybag, the game's total revenue reaches hundreds of millions, thanks to character sales, passes, skins, and chapters. Moneybag collaborations with Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Alien, and Hellraiser cost millions for licensing alone. But players also earn money. Fire DBD streamers make thousands of dollars monthly on Twitch and YouTube. Fire esports may be unofficial, but top tournaments offer hundreds of thousands of rubles in prizes. Fire traders sell rare skins and accounts for tens of thousands of rubles. Dead by Daylight isn't just a horror game. It's an ecosystem where fear is a resource, emotions are fuel, and every match is another ritual that generates profit, for both the developers and the players. To understand Dead by Daylight, you must understand one thing. This world isn't made of maps, forests, or locations. It is a simulation created by something older than any myth. The entity is not a demon, not a god, not a spirit. It is a mechanism that feeds on human emotion. It knows no time, no space, no logic. It pulls people from any reality, from futuristic worlds to the 19th century, and places them into the fog, its personal hell, where every emotion becomes energy. And only here does the truth become clear. The mechanics of DBD aren't simply game design. They are tools for harvesting energy. A generators, traps of false hope. A exit gates, the illusion of choice. A hooks, ritual altars. A totems, seals the entity uses to control balance. The blood web, a marketplace where you trade energy for power. And yes, all of this has a real financial dimension. Every mechanic hides Behavior Interactive's internal economy. Moneybag the blood web forces players to grind for hundreds of hours, extending the game's lifespan. Moneybag prestiges, perks, items, stimulate constant purchases. Moneybag event bonuses, direct revenue spikes through increased player activity. Moneybag offerings, lore-friendly explanations for microtransaction items. Dead by Daylight is a massive machine that converts player emotion into money. Fire every new killer brings in millions of dollars. Fire cosmetics bring in even more, often surpassing chapter sales. Fire the Premium Pass generates steady recurring income. Fire collaboration licenses cost tens of millions, but bring back even larger profits. The entity feeds on emotion. Behavior feeds on the profit from those emotions. One creates the hell. The other sells the tickets to enter it. In Dead by Daylight, nothing is random. Every killer is a story shattered by the entity. Every survivor is a tragedy turned into fuel. And here's the core truth. The entity doesn't create evil, it simply pushes it to its natural conclusion. Killers are people the world has already broken. The entity just delivers the final nudge. The huntress lost her mother and began seeing humans as prey. The trapper grew up under a tyrant father who taught him to crush people, never to pity, never to forgive. The wraith became a murderer because of war, where humans were reduced to animals. The doctor was a brilliant sadist given an endless laboratory of fear. They were already fractured. The entity merely removed the breaks. Survivors are the opposite. They are the ones who didn't break, but came dangerously close. Claudette, a botanical prodigy crushed by isolation. Dwight, a timid manager who discovered leadership only inside the fog. Meg, a runaway escaping the fallout of her own bad decisions. A Laurie Strode, Ash Williams, Leon Kennedy, victims of horrors from other worlds, ripped into a new hell. To the entity, fates don't matter. Only emotions do. Fire the survivor's fear. Fire the killer's rage. Fire the hope of escape. Fire the despair on the hook. Fire the shock when all generators collapse. Fire the euphoria when the gates almost open. Emotion equals energy. Energy equals the entity's life. And here comes the second layer, the game's economy. The stronger the emotion, the longer the player stays. Moneybag adrenaline, more matches. Moneybag anger, more grinding. Moneybag frustration, buying new perks. Moneybag fear of missing events, buying passes. Dead by Daylight is psychologically engineered so that matches are never perfectly fair. Victories are rare and delicious. Losses are painful but your fault. Players return again and again, like survivors to the campfire. This isn't just a game. It's an emotional loop. The entity feeds itself. Behavior feeds the business. And at the center of this grinder, human stories trapped in an endless cycle. The fog is not a location. It is the entity's mind, its nervous system, its personal world. It forms arenas, generators, gates, ladders, trees, hooks. None of these are objects. They're manifestations of the entity's will. Every meter of the fog is a simulation built from auric energy, the same golden substance that acts as fire premium currency. Fire the building material of the universe. Fire the entity's neural tissue. There are no laws of nature here. There is only a ritual, endlessly repeating. A 4 survivors. A 1 killer. A generators. A gates. The hunt. Death. A rebirth at the campfire. But here's the hidden truth. The entity doesn't want all survivors dead. It's actually better for her if someone escapes. Why? Because escape is an explosion of emotion. And emotion is her only source of power. And this is where the observers enter the stage. The most mysterious beings in Dead by Daylight. Fire, who are the observers? They aren't players. They aren't killers. They aren't survivors. They are people who fell into the fog, died, resurrected, but kept their memories, and no longer participate in trials. They exist between layers of the fog, like shadows. They study the entity, the world, the killers, the rules. They leave notes, the archives players read. The main observers. Small Blue Diamond Vigo, the alchemist who first understood the nature of auric energy. Small Blue Diamond Benedict Baker, the researcher documenting the fog. Vigo, apparently, learned to create objects. Chests, totems, maybe even the hatch. Baker, on the other hand, tries to interpret why the entity sometimes helps survivors, why sometimes she empowers killers, why memory is erased, but not his. Their existence breaks the rules of the fog. Fire the main secret. Observers are enemies of the entity. The entity cannot kill them, cannot erase their memory, cannot remove them from the world. They are the only ones capable of interfering with the cycle. According to one theory, observers are the ones who slipped into the trials. Offerings, items, maps, tools, and even the hatch itself. It's sabotage. Not a rescue, but a chance. A weak one, yet a chance.